Inna aradna al-amanata ala samawati wal-ard wal-jibal. The amana which we were blessed to have, which we accepted, is the amana of freedom. Freedom. Freedom to think. A creative intellect that I can extend the frontiers of knowledge, that I can access new knowledge that was not there in the world before. The capacity to think independently, the freedom to think. But the amana also gives us the freedom to choose. Al-haqqu min rabbikum faman sha'a falyu'min wa man sha'a falyakfur. The truth is from your Lord, and you have the freedom either to accept or to reject. It is this freedom that the jasad does not have. And it is this freedom that the jasad wants to deprive us of, so that we will become jasads like him. And once he succeeds in depriving us of our capacity to think independently and our capacity to choose freely, we've lost our freedom and we've been enslaved. We've been enslaved. And today, the sadness that we face, this sad reality is that most of mankind have become jasads already. They have eyes and yet cannot see. They have ears and yet cannot hear. They have hearts and yet cannot think. They're just like cattle, they're worse than cattle. Most of them will have a credit card in their pockets. What's a credit card? What's wrong with a credit card? Tell me, Imran. Oh, a credit card, if you didn't know, you dumb. A credit card is when you use somebody else's money. Did you know that? Did you know that? Every time you use the credit card to buy something or to pay for something, you are using somebody else's money, not your money. Did you know that? If you're using a debit card, you're using your money. But you want to rent a car, you go with a debit card. Maybe already you can't do it. The rental company say, no, we don't want a debit card. We want a credit card. When you use somebody else's money, does he have any conditions attached to it? Yes. This is Dajjal at work, if you didn't know. Dajjal is the one who owns all the credit cards. Yeah, he's the owner, if you didn't know. And his condition is that if you do not repay me by the end of the month, you agree to pay riba. So he put the nose around your neck. And you say, thank you, Dajjal, that I have the nose around my neck. But then comes the Sheikh, and the Sheikh says, no, if I pay by the month end, I don't pay any riba. No haram here. Okay, Sheikh. I actually met him. I met him in New Jersey. He was a Shia Sheikh. And I saw the credit card. I said, Sheikh, what's that? He said, credit card? I said, Sheikh, haram. He said, what? He said, I pay every month. So I'm not in riba. So I said, okay. The credit card gives you a contract. And the contract says, if you don't repay by the end of the month, then you must pay interest. Correct? He said, yes. You sign? He said, yes, I sign. Well, I said, okay, suppose the credit card says, that if you do not pay at the end of the month, you have to drink a glass of Scotch whiskey. Will you sign? He said, no, no, no. No, no. Yeah. Okay. If the credit card company says, if you do not pay by the end of the month, you go commit zina. Would you do that? Say, haram, haram, no. I say, well, to agree to pay riba is worse. It's worse than drinking the whiskey. This contract is worse than zina. 1 dirham of riba that you consume is worse than committing zina 36 times. Sheikh, your contract is haram. Okay? But everybody have credit card today. Because you can't do anything without a credit card. So only a fool would not have a credit card. All the sensible people will have credit card because that's the way you live. So then in Jahannam, you will remember what Allah said. And you will repeat it in Jahannam. لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. If we used to listen and if we used to think, we would not today be in Jahannam. Oh, the only way I can buy the house, a house is 1 million ringgit. That's the only way I can buy it. How else can I buy my house? And you know how she is there. My wife, she's saying, we need a house, we need a house. Yeah? The children, we need a house, Papa. Oh, really? How did your grandfather build his house in Kampung? Huh? How did your grandfather build his house in Kampung? Huh? He built a small house. When he had more money, he built another room and another room. And they lived a simple life in Kampung. But you want to have big house in Shah Alam. Huh? So now you have to bow down and then worship riba, Dajjal, and borrow all of this money. Oh, Sheikh, there is the law of darura. When there is no alternative, then the law of necessity applies. Sheikh, don't you know? If you have no food to eat, you're allowed to eat pork, lahmul khinzir. Sheikh, don't you know this? I say, okay, all right. The law of darura is when you have no food, you're starving, then you can eat lahmul khinzir. But why are you eating your lahmul khinzir and licking your finger? Why? Huh? You were so happy you bought this house, you bought this car, you were licking your finger. But when I eat the lahmul khinzir, I hate it. Huh? Number 2, you must eat the minimum of lahmul khinzir. Huh? But why is your plate full? Number 3, while you're eating the lahmul khinzir, you must be looking for food. And on this, as soon as you can get food to eat, you stop the lahmul khinzir. But you sign a contract, 30 years of lahmul khinzir. What a great betrayal. No capacity to think. The important thing of this lecture is for you to begin to now think. I have realized I cannot teach the subject of riba with a big book. I realize that. Because attention span is becoming smaller and smaller. So I've decided I'm going to write a series of small books. Small books. The first one is now being printed, 49 pages. The next one will be Dajjal and Riba, which is tonight's lecture. And then Dajjal and the economic and monetary terrorism of riba, which is what they've done to Venezuela. Then riba in the monetary system, then riba in the banking system. And this will complete my series of books on riba, inshallah. We pray that tonight's lecture may be a wake-up call, and that not only will you begin to study and understand the subject and stay away from riba as much as you can, but remember the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, the time will come when you'll not be able to find a single person in all of mankind will not be consuming riba. And whosoever claimed that he is not consuming riba, verily the dust of riba would be upon him. The vapor of riba would be upon him. So when you see yourself cornered, there is no way out. The Prophet said, always choose the lesser evil. And finally, here is our Prophet, who was sent as rahmatul lil alameen. But he cursed. He cursed. He cursed all four. And he said they're all equally guilty. This is the last hadith I'm going to give you. The one who takes riba, the one who gives riba, the one who records the transaction, and the two witnesses. And he said they're all equally guilty. Whoever has the curse of a prophet upon him, you can fast for Ramadan. Your fasting will not be accepted. Whoever has the curse of a prophet upon him, you can perform your salat. Your salat would not be accepted. If you have the curse of a prophet upon you, you can perform hajj. Your hajj will not be accepted. If you have the curse of a prophet upon you, Jahannam, there is no other way. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may bless the efforts of all those now who try to stay away from riba. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We have Salatul Isha, and then after that we have a short question and answer.